Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980-8483, 340-9400 or 635-9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited, or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051, or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenji.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Sa soto. Sorry. I get it.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya. Mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jang.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nko kono kiya bere. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma nin domorol dil fana beteat. Gambia dawda yalo ma kumfa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
With our weekly look at current affairs of events that happened over the last 7 days. Today we have in the studio the mayor of KMC, Kanifing Municipal Council, Talib Ahmed Bensouda. Mr. Bensouda was re-elected, as you all know, of course, in 2022 mayoral elections, and he is well into his second term. He did say he's going to serve only 2 terms, but in the recent past, the council have been engaged in a number of projects, and Mr. Talib Bensouda himself had been in the provinces. We will discuss about his recent political activities as well as work in the KMC. First, though, welcome back. It's been a while since your re-election. I don't think we have had any brunch together.
Thank you, Mr. Cham. Yes, actually, we did not have a session since the last election.
Okay, good. So we cannot naturally cover all, but let's go straight into your work since your re-election. I mean, we know that you came on the heels of a tough election, and after that, of course, there were issues with the local governance, relations between the local government and the central government. Let's go back there. It looks like things have improved tremendously now.
Yes, like you rightly said, our election was at the same time when we had issues with the local government ministry, and I would say Gambia government. And as soon as we came back, it was to stabilize the council.
Yeah.
I would say the council administration, for the most part, is stabilized.
Stabilized now.
The council as a legislative body is also stabilized.
Okay.
However, I wouldn't say there's any improvement in the relationship with government. I think we have less dealings together. That's why, for the most part, you haven't had much.
Oh, so you have very little to do with one another now? Oh.
So it seems, yes, because there's little collaboration. There's little interaction. So it's almost like as if there was a bit of a push and pull, and now everybody went to their corner.
But does this in any way constrain your council or plans or policies? Because when you say there's very little interaction between you and the central government, that naturally would mean that there are maybe things that you could have done if you had got their cooperation, but you can do it now.
Absolutely. Gambia is a very small country, and the way our legislature is set up, councils cannot exist without government. So there must be collaboration, there must be cooperation, there must be joint projects, there must be financing from government. So in many ways and forms, the two need to work very closely together. If at all we had the system that is, what it should have been was a council should have been autonomous bodies, and the human resources of councils were independent from government, and then maybe we could say we don't need them as much. But given that our very own staff are appointed through the Local Government Service Commission that is set up by government, that alone will impede on our ability if there's not cooperation. So we've seen the same things happening to all councils across the board. And just recently, our Deputy Director of Finance was redeployed without consultation from us. So these are some of the things that impede on our ability to serve. Now, true, we do not have tension at the moment, and that is just because there is no interaction or very limited interaction. But if you also look at in terms of urban planning, land governance, you look at our development plans, it is almost impossible without title to land. And as you've heard us maybe in the last month or so, I was complaining about this because since we came into office 6 years ago, we applied for our title. These are lands presumed to be owned by the council or under the council's custodian or authority, but is still not legally given to the councils. And without those legal documents, it is impossible to bring developments in those areas.
Okay, that's significant. But in the past, you used to have problems, even the daily activities. I mean, you people conceive what is interference from the government.
Absolutely.
And then they consider that you want to run an opposition, what they call an opposition council. So those ones, like you said, are now you smoothly run. You don't have to.
Yeah, so like I said, before there was an attempt to interfere and control the councils, and now, like I said, everybody just went back to their corner. I think we've agreed that probably to disagree. We've agreed that maybe our perspective on the relationship and their perspective of the relationship are different. But there's undertones, of course, of politics. We believe that if we were still in the same political party, I think maybe we would be able to converse more. But I don't think that we would be able to cooperate more because it seems to be more of a power struggle than anything. I think government is unwilling to allow decentralized bodies to function independently of them. And I think they should look to other countries based on what sort of structure can best bring service to the people. Because at the end of the day, I think that is the goal. How do we maximize the quality of services to the communities? And if you look at all the structures around the world, the best are when councils are autonomous and have control over their municipalities in terms of the governing of certain elements of their municipality, from security to creation of laws, etc. And at the same time, to be able to plan for the future. We need to have urban planning functions. We need to have zoning functions. We need to also have more ability to generate revenue. We also need more control over our human and financial resources. I think in that way, we will not only be responsible, we can be held accountable because we have control. And this is why election cycles determine who should come or who should go. And I think this is why Parliament also, as an oversight body, it is also there to keep councils in check. So basically, the provisions are there in the law, but the law has been amended so many times. And government, in many cases, as an institution, is unwilling to embrace certain sections of the law.
Okay.
So that makes things difficult. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about your activities since your re-election.
Right.
We had, as recent as yesterday, you had this how do you call it, the KEPT project?
Yes.
You also had an understanding with a body called SMD policy alignment.
Exactly.
You also had a housing scheme for
KMC
staff. KMC staff.
Right.
And you also had a reinforcement, I think, on your waste collection things.
Absolutely.
And you also announced a road project.
Yes, absolutely.
That you said you will embark on. So let's take on one by one.
Right.
The road project, how far is that?
So the road project, we are 2 weeks away from selecting a contractor.
Okay, but have you identified the roads?
We have identified the roads over 3 years now.
How many of them?
So it's about 19 roads and 6 kilometers of drains.
19 roads,
Yes.
and these are all dotted around the KMC.
They are all around the KMC.
Which one is particularly known and particularly?
Right, so given that we don't yet have full street names, I can just describe.
Yeah, but how they used to be called, they used to call them? Yes.
Right, so a lot of these are not highways, so they are mostly unnamed because highways are the ones that are named.
Yes, yes.
These are feeder roads.
Yes.
So one particular road I'm quite excited about is the one running behind GT Bank on Kairaba, parallel to Kairaba Avenue. It connects
one
from
behind, that goes to the mosque.
Yes, it connects
The Senegalese High Commission.
It will connect Batil Hardin Highway
to
all the way to Safedin. So
where does it pass? It passed behind
Pipeline
the
mosque.
And then goes to Latrikunda, German.
Exactly.
Kotu Silo, you cross the Kotu.
Kotu, and then it comes
through
Dipakunda, and then will
and
come
then
out
you
at
go to
Safedin.
Muskeba Dramis area.
Exactly.
Oh, yes, I know
so
that.
that would actually reduce pressure from Kairaba Avenue. I think that would be one of the longest roads. I think it's about 1.7 kilometers.
Yeah, I know that road. It goes through Dipakunda
exactly
up to Muskeba Dramis this way, and then you can turn to go to the...
Two other roads I'm excited about. One will run from Serakunda, go to Dipakunda. It will have a bridge.
From Serakunda, where? That is the one going to Manja, is it?
Yes, it connects from the Dipakunda area to Bakote.
Oh, yes.
And then you go past the canal through a bridge.
Okay.
Another one is London Corner Marsengelo.
Yeah.
It connects to Bakote and goes over a bridge as well.
Oh, goes over the bridge?
Yes.
Oh, that's impossible.
Yes. So, and there's another one which is Babun Fati.
Yes.
It connects to the KMC actually, the road by KMC.
Yes, that's right.
The feeder road, and it goes to Babun Fati.
Babun Fati. Isn't there a central government road plan for that? Is it not the one that should...
No, there's one that government is building, but it's more around the New Joshua area.
But this one is from...
It will run from KMC and connect to Ibo Town.
Okay.
There's another road also which is Sankum Sila.
Yes.
And then it will connect to the OIC roads. Sankum Sila running by the PIU.
Connecting to...
the OIC roads. Running in New Joshua.
Oh, yes, okay.
So there's several of them. For Bakau, in the case of Bakau, we are intending to demolish all the drain because they have colonial drains.
Yes.
And it's become a health hazard because most homes did not build septic tanks or soccerways, so they are connecting directly to these drains. That's why many people who go to Bakau will realize the stench in the atmosphere. They will also see that all the drains are inundated with waste, etc. So we feel that it's a health hazard. It's been for many years. So we've committed to demolish those drains and rebuild them into surface drains so that nobody can connect to eliminate the health hazard. So it's an ambitious project.
How much is this money?
So what we plan is 300 million at the high side and 250 at the low side. And based on that, of course, it's a loaded plan, and then based on the budget, there's a lot of negotiation with the various contractors. But our contract committee is doing a tremendous job. We have subject matter specialists from the public. We have experts from the council. And also, they have set up a monitoring and evaluation committee, which is actually invited. We have the Ministry of Roads there. We have GPPA on it. We have NRA on it.
Okay.
So it is going to be, of course,
so that's the contract committee.
That's the contract committee. It's a very well-constituted committee.
Okay.
And it's doing very well in terms of engagement.
So this is a novelty. You engage all of them
into a monitoring and evaluation committee. Even the local government select committee chairperson, Honorable Suleiman Jamme from Bundung, is a member of the evaluation committee.
And this, you want to ensure transparency?
Of course, transparency. We also want to do stakeholder engagement, and of course, we want the best result. So we need expertise on board. And once right now, I believe they've just finished the technical evaluation of contractors. They are moving into the financial evaluation of contractors very soon, and then they will recommend a contractor to the council body. The council will vote if we agree or not, and then we will pass it to GPPA for final stamp and approval.
Good, but you don't expect works to start because not these rains, because the rains are not very far away.
Well, we are hoping that we can break ground by April.
April.
Because it's going to be a 3-year project in terms of implementation, but we are using a pre-financing structure of 5 years.
Pre-finance, who will finance it? Or the
contractor will pre-finance, and then
the contractor
council will pay over. So it's a model we have used before that works.
That was the waste management.
Yes, it worked very well in terms of the waste management, in terms of the Mbalit.
Yes. So okay, so the companies will pre-finance.
The companies will pre-finance.
Okay.
So we use the same model in terms of the Mbalit, and this financing structure we used is the amount we were allocating to the Mbalit on a year-on-year basis. That is something we no longer have to pay for because we own it.
Yeah.
So basically, those funds are now available to enter into a new endeavor.
I see.
Yes.
All right. Yes. And this is all going to be funded by taxpayers.
Fully funded by taxpayers' money, and it's going to be a first of its kind. Because usually what we see with councils is government builds their roads through GAMWorks, which is usually a grant or a loan through the World Bank to Gambia government and executed by GAMWorks. And the councils will usually have to pay a 5% counterpart contribution. If you remember, when we were coming into office, there was a similar project, including the one that built Bundung Maternity Hospital, our townhouse, some concrete roads, etc.
Exactly.
So there is no council in the history of this country that is embarked on a road network. Usually it's one road or two roads. Secondly, that one that would be fully funded through taxpayers' funds.
All right. What about the kept projects you talk about?
So the kept is
what does it entail?
So kept entails it's the actual full name is Kanifing Environmental Transformation Program.
Okay.
So it's a program that should enhance quality of life of residents in the municipality. The 3 thematic areas we're looking at is environmental improvement, that constitutes planting of trees, development of community parks, etc. The other one is an education component, and the main focus there is to build the first municipal library in the country, and of course the biggest library in the country. But to make sure that the library is not just a building, we also want to bring it to life with innovative approaches, such as we are going to have a virtual reality zone, we're going to have a mechanics area, we're going to introduce local language sections, and of course there would be the standard offerings of libraries, which is reading zones, computer labs, meeting rooms, etc. So I wish you passed there. The building is looking very, very good. We are 2-3 months away from finalizing and opening. The structure is 90% complete. Now we are contracting for the furnishing, which includes the library, which is the computer labs, etc., and the innovation center. And we are hoping by July 1st, which is International Library Day, is when we want to open it. But this library, we are very concerned about its sustainability. So we are going to...
And where would you tap the materials from? Are you going to collaborate with the National Council for Arts and Culture?
Right. So what we are initially doing as a council is to build and resource the library. Now, in terms of content, in terms of how the library would operate, how it will run, for sustainability reasons, we will register the library as a NGO. We will appoint a board of trustees or governors that will be responsible for the day-to-day running of the library, including soliciting of funding, partnerships, etc. So the library remains independent service, and so that it can be sustainable. We don't want it to be a government-run institution that can run down based on what leadership is there. We want it to be a vibrant space that has community interest. So we will solicit the support and look for volunteers from the KM, maybe former headmasters, librarians, people who have interest in education and have the expertise to run this library. So in 20 years, it will still be up and running. We hope also they can generate enough funding to create a network. Because KM in terms of landmass is big.
It's big, yes.
A child now who lives in Abuko will find it very difficult to make it all the way to Kanifing to study.
Exactly.
Likewise, somebody who lives in Kololi or Bakau. So what we are trying to do is to encourage this new leadership once they take over to also further look for funding to expand the library into a network.
I see.
Yes.
Any other thing under the KEPT project? We said it's
Yeah, so there's a waste area also in the KEPT. We have already distributed 10,000 bins as part of that waste area. We are building a recycling shed that should be done in the next 2 weeks at the Bakote Dome site. This year we will be building 7 miniature transfer stations. These are small waste enclosures at the community level that so we can introduce recycling at the community level. Because what the recycling now is all done at the dump site.
I see.
Through waste pickers and scavengers. Now, before the all that waste is transported to the dump site, recycling can be done at the community level. So these 7 transfer stations will be doing just that. Another thing we will be doing this year is the installation of a weigh bridge at the Bakote dump site, so we can finally measure by tonnage how much waste comes into there, because right now it's guesswork based on volume of the trucks we have. The other thing that we did just this week, is that as part of the KETP, we have added another a truck with 9 skip buckets. So these are strategic skip buckets or waste buckets for commercial use or for communities that are difficult to reach by our compactor trucks, and then people can just drag their waste to these skips, dump it there, and then later one single truck will come get it. Right. So we had under the Mbalit project 10 strategic areas. Maybe you see them around. There's one at Bakau around the stadium. There's one at Josuang around SSD. So they place various strategic areas in the Sandika, Bakote Fish Market, etc. Bundung, Charles Jau. But we realized that there's a capacity issue. So we have added another 9 this week. So we believe for the first time KMC has all that it needs as far as waste collection is concerned. I have traveled in the sub-region and I find that we are, if not one of the most well-resourced councils as far as waste collection is concerned, because we are now boasting 30 vehicles.
When somebody said, despite all this, your critic says waste is still not being effectively collected in KM.
Well, the collection cannot be 100%, and these are not issues directly related to KMC's ability to collect. These are structural issues. Gambia is suffering from decades of poor planning or lack of it. And today we even see what is the devastation happening when the OIC roads came. How many homes are collapsed and destroyed just so you can have a straight line, and a wide enough road. It's because there's been literally no physical planning. So what happens when we have trucks that are large, where small cars could not even pass, now you have trucks that cannot enter those areas. So it makes it very, very difficult to collect.
So when people see donkey carts carrying, they said, what's the council doing about it?
Yeah, so donkey carts is, I would say, is a necessary evil, right? Because on the one hand, we don't want to see that kind of waste collection in our municipality, because we believe we should be way more developed than that. On the other hand, they go to areas that we cannot enter.
Like you are describing.
Yeah, like I am describing.
They can't get it.
Yeah, so basically, it's not something we would like to see, but it's something that we would have to do for now, until we can structure the municipality better, meaning all roads are built.
Roads can go there.
Roads have to be built. Some areas like the riverine areas that we cannot reach, either there's a program for resettlement by government, so those areas can be taken back to their natural state, which is a wetland or a rice field or some sort of agricultural program. But as far as those settlers are still there, as far as roads are still inaccessible, it's something that we would have to live with. In terms of littering, KMC is the most densely populated region in the country. When you look at the national average, is 176 people per kilometer square. KMC is 5,000 people per kilometer square. So the amount of waste generated per square meter exists nowhere.
I see.
So for an area to be quickly littered or for rubbish to quickly accumulate, it's a problem KMC has. And so that's why with all that we are doing, you still have an issue with littering. Now, we have created an MOU with NEA. But the missing element which we are trying to correct is the national police. Littering, there must be an enforcement.
National policy, you mean a policy by the central government enforcing?
So the laws are there. The
But
Anti-Littering
anti-littering
Act is there.
laws,
It's just not enforced.
But whose job is to enforce at the council level?
Well, these are national laws. So national laws cannot be enforced by a council. We don't have the ability to put criminal charges on people. What we have is bylaws.
Yes.
Bylaws.
Your bylaws don't cover.
There are minimal fee charges and so on. So what we are trying to do, because of we don't have the capacity in terms of enforcement, we simply don't have the numbers. Remember, national government does recruitment for councils. We have 176 officers.
Okay.
That should enforce a region like KMC with 500,000.
All these are employed by central government?
Well, they allow us to employ or not employ.
I see.
Right. Okay. So basically they say, okay, these are the numbers you can have. But what we are saying now is the national police have the numbers. They are already in strategic areas. The anti-littering law is a national law and police should enforce all laws.
All laws.
Why don't we collaborate with them? Once upon a time in the Gambia, seat belts was not an issue. People drove without seatbelts, tying their seatbelts. But once the police started enforcing it, I would say there's 80% compliance. Right. So that's the same rationale I used to them. The same way you would enforce a seatbelt offense. Somebody is driving past you is littering as a police officer. But we realize police are not oriented to even see that littering is a wrong issue. So the Anti-Littering Act is something that now, based on our MOU, the NEA will do a refresher training with the police. Council will collaborate with them to enforce littering. I think these are areas that also we would have hoped the Ministry of Environment, as the policy-making body on environment matters, would also be in full collaboration with. We would also like them to do more. Although NEA, we see a lot of collaboration, we yet to see at the policy level the Ministry of Environment tackle waste. Waste is not a council problem. People tend to limit councils to waste management.
Yeah, because people think that they pay their tax to you. Right. You are the ones who should take care of the little things around.
So we are a service provider. Right. So council is a service provider in general. Right. So government should not see councils as an institution that should take care of waste or that should sweep the streets. No. We are service providing body. We can provide schools. We can provide hospitals. We can provide roads. We can provide a lot of things. But of course, with our system, these initiatives need to be empowered through government because the resourcing to be able to do these activities, the legislative power to be able to act on these activities. Mayors should not be only chairpersons of a council body. We should be executives, like our counterparts across the world. We should be able to make executive decisions. We should be able to recruit the leadership around us.
For example, you can go about and close schools which you consider to be detrimental to the health or something, or perhaps evict businesses you think are not in the interest of your community, but you can do that.
Of course. So you as a mayor, you need to have a power of governance. And of course, council should exercise direct oversight on you as the executive body. So across the world, the mayor is the executive, the council is the legislative and oversight body. Just like parliament and president.
I see.
But the reason there's a lot of dysfunctionality at the local level is because the structure is all wrong. So mayor, in our context, is a legislator, is the chairperson of the legislative body.
I see.
And I am part of the councillors exercising oversight on the CEO and co.
CEO and co, which are appointed. I see.
which is abnormal.
I see.
So usually the mayor is appointed by the people.
By the people.
And is held accountable by the people
so
and
it
parliament.
should normally have powers over all this, but instead it's the other way around.
Exactly.
I
and
see.
then we don't hire or fire the CEO
CEOs.
and the administration.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to also hold them accountable.
Okay. Okay, but okay, let's talk about you definitely have very elaborate programs and that have won a lot of admirations, even though you are yet to satisfy your critics, because you hear everything you said, there must be something somewhere that you said, this is not done, this is not done. Okay, let's talk, before we come to that, let's continue with this one you talk about. This, you said there's everybody called policy, national policy, I mean, who are this group?
Yes, SMD.
SMD.
Right, so it's an institution that looks at management, development and training, etc.
Are they at some private body or something?
I think it's an NGO, although I have to get verification. I was not unfortunately part of the meeting with the council. The administration led by the CEO met them, and they're looking at capacity building programs, etc. Not a huge thing, but of course the administration executes, like we just discussed, and then of course they need the required capacity. One thing I discussed with the local government select committee chair is that I believe the pay scale of council should be reviewed. Because today, all councils, their finance directors are not ACCA holders. They're not chartered accountants. And if you look at our counterparts in the service industry, and these are either parastatals, which are government companies, or public companies, and you look at private companies, you look at the difference in pay scale. It's huge. So councils cannot be paid the same rate as civil servants. We should be paid the same pay scale as parastatals.
But why?
Right. Because we are providing a service. So the competency you need, the capacity you need is way higher.
I see.
Right. From a government institution with civil servants to service providers. Because today, that's why we don't have a permanent secretary. We have a chief executive officer.
Okay.
So I always joke that our chief executive officers are the lowest paid in the world. Right, because if you look at our chief executive officer today, they are paid about, I think, 25,000 take home. If you look at the average chief executive officer pay in the Gambia, is way higher than that, maybe double that.
This because they pay them to the integrated government integrated pay scale.
Exactly. So I think that should be reviewed. And if I were to have it my way, I think council should create their own pay scales. Based on
wasn't there an accusation that you guys went ahead and increased your own salaries? And
well, they are talking about the councillors at the legislative level. They are not talking about the staff. Because at the legislative level, there is no declared pay scale at the PMO, because we are not civil servants, we are public servants. There's just a pay scale in law a long time ago that only mentions the mayors and the chairpersons. But that was never followed by other regimes.
I see.
So precedents was already set where other regimes never followed that pay scale. But in terms of I as a mayor, I have never increased my pay from when I took office. The only times my pay were increased were automatic increment based on parliament. When they had a blanket of 50% or 30%. So that automatic increment, of course, touched my pay scale. But council as an independent body never increased the mayor's pay scale. What they were talking about was when councillors increased their allowance based on their running of their offices. But that is as a body where the councillors voted that they needed to increase their allowance.
Okay, let's look at the administration of the council, because that too has come under much criticism, especially, well, the local government commission of inquiry is unearthing things that people believe could have, left a lot of desire when it comes to administration.
Right.
Now, your critics will point out, say, oh, okay, Talib, all right, he may be having a good name or a good reputation, but if you go under his administration, is littered with poor or intransparent, non-transparent procurement policies, or they said conflict of interest in his awarding of contracts, stuff like that. How do you?
Well, I think those are just accusations and they are blanket statements. When one speaks, I would like them to say, on issue A, specific issue, on the procurement of this, that, we have unearthed documents that procurement policies were not followed. We have unearthed that. But they never gain traction because they don't talk in specific terms. They make blanket political statements. And I always say, if you have unearthed evidence that the mayor has done something or the administration, you should not go to media as a government institution complaining. You should be going to your police or your judiciary.
Yeah, because they think that you seem to be the darling of the media. They said everything you are very good at. They say you are very good at enticing the media.
Well, it's not a media.
So they have no choice now. They have to go with their criticism to the media.
It's not a court of public opinion. It's a court of justice.
Okay.
Right. So if you feel that there's been illegality happening in the council, we are more eager to find out those issues. The second issue is when they say it is mayor's administration.
Yeah.
It's not mayor's administration.
Well,
I have never appointed any staff at the council because I don't simply have the powers. If today, like I said, they allowed me, like my counterparts around the world, the law has changed, so we are executive officers as mayors. We can appoint our cabinet, and these are the directors and CEO. We can fire. We have the ability to build our own administration.
Yeah.
Create our own structures.
Yeah.
Then I can be fully held accountable as a mayor.
So you mean, for example, you mean in the current system where the CEO, the finance officer, and all those key things are appointed by government.
By government,
and they are found to be wanted.
Yes, it's government
in the council's
officers.
Administrations.
Yeah.
You think it's unfair to blame Mayor?
It is unfair
Talib
because I cannot fire.
Why are you not expected to exercise oversight with them to try to say, okay, this is our budget for the roads, but I want to see how do you spend it.
Of course, we do that on a daily basis, but like I said, these are pressure tactics. We have to either motivate them or pressure them, but there is no stick, there is no threat for a public officer when you don't follow what council wants, because council cannot simply fire you. Do you see the point?
But council can complain.
We can only complain, and we've complained. And what happened?
Well, in the case of CEO,
we had an impasse.
You had a problem.
We had an impasse for 2 years.
Yes. Oh.
So we have to now decide between trying to implement as much as we can in the shortest possible time before our term ends to at least show people what we've done, or spend our 4 or 5 years fighting. We've just seen it in Birkama Area Council.
Yeah, we're coming to
so where we so it is very unnatural when we talk about these issues to our counterparts anywhere in the world. They look at us very strange.
Yeah, I know, I can understand.
It's very abnormal.
Yeah.
It's almost like saying the president cannot fire his ministers, cannot hire his ministers.
Yeah.
Then the president is not in control of his cabinet.
Yeah.
So how can you then hold that president accountable for what happens in the country if he's not an executive?
Oh, yeah.
So just like the executive branch, the 3 branches of government is designed for a reason. There's the implementing body, there's the oversight body, and then there's the justice.
Okay.
Right? So you have the legislative branch, the executive branch, and then you have the judiciary. Okay. Similarly, councils were designed in that way. We have deviated from the original essence of how councils should be. The mayor should be the executive body. He should build his cabinet, hire his chief executive officers, his land directors, build his budget and present it to the council for approval. Yeah. Then the council, based on the laws of the land, based on the Local Government Act, will have an oversight function on the mayor and his administration.
I see.
So that's the thing. Now Parliament, as the highest authority you can say in the land as far as the law is concerned, they exercise the supreme oversight function over the entire council.
Now, problems with governance.
Yeah.
That has come under serious criticism. Right. You had a lot of problem between you and your chief executive and others.
Right.
When the transfers happen, of course, like you said, those ones are still the powers. Those powers are still with the central government.
Yeah.
The new mayor you have, the new CEO you have, and other things. How are relations between you and them? Are they also, like for example, it used to be said that okay, these people who are appointed by government are mainly indoctrinated to be anti mayor, opposition. I'm talking about the opposition controlled mayors. But did you see that in these ones, or these ones have behaved professionally?
Right, so we only have one transfer, which is the Chief Executive Officer, who was transferred from Janjambure Area Council to KMC, Pasit Sise. When he was transferred, we felt that it was against the law. Well, it is against the law because in the Local Government Act, there must be a consultation with the mayor.
There wasn't such?
There was no such. It was just a transfer. But what I told the council members, look, a lot of them were not in the mood to accept the transfer. I said, look, we have only 4 years in office. Because of the Supreme Court win we had, this second term is shorter than our first term.
Yes.
Now the 4 years has to stay.
Has to stay.
We either decide to take this next 4 years fighting with government or
you do
working for the people.
I see.
As much as we can with the limited power we have, with the limited resources. Because at the end of the day, we were not elected to fight for justice.
So that's an important.
We were elected to serve.
That's an important thing. I want to go. So now, instead of returning fire to fire or try to establish what is wrong or right, you feel that, you know what, we have one term to go.
Yes.
Let us stop this fighting and work for the interest of KM.
It was a conscious decision by the council. We said,
so in other words, even if you see it is wrong and interference, the approach you took before, now you would think that as long as our work is not stopped, which they can't in some way.
So there's where we draw a line in the sand.
I see.
And what we all agreed is, as far as our ability to do development with the express powers in law is not impeded on, we will not create any
impasse anymore.
We will work with the CEO as far as his intention is similar to ours, which is to bring development. Impartial, non-partisan. We just want the entire municipality to develop. The partisanship will come is if we do a good job, people will say this is a UDP-led council.
Yes, that's right.
So also, I must also commend the new CEO because he has shown to be a person of high integrity.
Professional.
He's been very professional. He's been working.
It looks like Brikama too is getting a little bit stable now.
Yes. So basically, we have decided that since our right and our justice cannot be served under the current context in terms of the Local Government Service Commission and us, and we do already have court cases in court. We have about 3 court cases or 2.
That's against who and who?
One is a Supreme Court case.
Yes.
That's against the Ministry of Local Government.
Your prayers is for them to interpret what?
Because it was during when they sent the military officers to the council for the court to interpret our autonomy. And that case will be called, I think, Wednesday on the 6th.
And then the next one?
The second one is directly with the former CEO. It's a similar context, but a different case, basically. That is with the High Court. So basically, where we have disputes, we will go to court, but we will not allow that to impede on the council services. So the CEO has come, and frankly, he's working for the council. We don't see anything from him. And I always say, I as a mayor will always receive people as they come. I will not prejudge you. I will not have any prejudices or biases or any preconceived notion. If you come to work, I will accept you as you are. But if you come to impede on council services, then we will deal with that situation as it arises. So far we are on steady ground, but that is not because we have cooperation. That is because we don't have engagement.
I see. Okay. Right. Let's talk about the politics now, because we all know that a number of councils, 4 of them, particularly in the populated areas, are controlled by the UDP. And we know when it comes to political rivalry, the most intensive one is between the UDP and the governing National People's Party. In fact, people say that's what all brought about all the things.
Absolutely.
They accused you of turning your council to UDP. Now, if you have ceremonies which would normally have been official ceremonies that they think should be for AKM, but you give prominence to UDP people, UDP leader, UDP hierarchy, or UDP people, I mean, they will take these events and occasions to be their achievement, and then you will give them prominence. They said this is a problem. You kind of undervalued the central government and make the opposition, which you belong to be more important and giving them more prominence than the president of the republic, for example.
Let me ask you.
Say you always equate your lawyer Dabo with president of the republic, even when you are doing official functions. They find trouble in that.
Let me make one clarification. So, President Adama Barrow is the president of the Gambia.
Yes.
Nobody disputes that. He is the leader of this nation.
Yes.
His Excellency Ousainou Darboe is my party leader and my direct leader as far as party is concerned. So I think that distinction needs to be made. Barrow is my leader as far as the country is concerned. That's national.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our political party, Ousainou Darboe is my leader. Secondly, let me make another clarification. We are not turning KMC into a UDP council.
They said even
KMC is a UDP-led council.
Yes, that's
so we are not turning it. It is a UDP.
Or it's already a UDP.
It is already a UDP-led council. People looked at political parties and said, UDP, you are the one we have chosen to lead us in KMC.
I see.
So we are not turning KMC into a UDP council. It is already a UDP
it is the people who
led council, and that is what the people decided.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of administration,
yeah,
that is where we draw the line. We do not mix the administration and politics.
Yeah, but so in some official functions, you bring
now I will.
Ousainou Darboe and
yeah, so now I will come to
give
that.
him
Now
the most exalted.
When I talk about administration, I mean when it comes to hiring of staff, when it comes to delivery of services, when it comes to dealing with the public, we do not say, "Oh, you are UDP, we will hire you. You are not UDP, we will not hire you." Or you are UDP, you will get a promotion. You are UDP, you will not get a promotion. Or we will come to a community and say, "You are UDP, you'll get service. You are UDP, you'll not get service." Of course, politics has accusations, has allegations, but that is not the council's agenda. And you can even ask from opposition members in the council, the NPP opposition councillors or the APRC opposition councillors, you can ask them. When it comes to the delivery of services, the employment of people, as far as administration, it is impartial. It is non-partisan. However, when it comes to achievements of the council, or ribbon cutting, or inaugurations, or of course, it is a UDP-led council. Our policies, our programs, are our achievements, and our achievements are partisan. Though they are an achievement for all people in the municipality, but today it is partisan. Today, when the national government celebrates achievements, do they celebrate it as UDP achievements? No, they say these are NPP's achievements. This is what NPP has done to transform this country.
Isn't that where the problem lies? They said you are running a mini government of UDP.
Well, we are a mini government. You see, this is the problem. Government
parallel government.
It is called a local government authority.
Yeah.
So we are a government. We are a government under a government. So we have autonomy. In the Local Government Act, it says every region must have a local government authority which is autonomous, highly autonomous.
I see.
So we are a government. It's just that we have a different mandate. But that mandate is for the same people we serve. We have the same masters. But whereas we are serving certain issues, central government is serving other issues.
I see.
You know, so basically I think sometimes I look at a lot of the government comments and I think maybe they don't understand the constitution or the local government, or they're just not embracing it just because we are opposition council. Now, if we have a program, we invite everybody.
Yes. Do you invite President Barrow if you are some of the things that you...
No, but we invite the ministry.
And they come?
Yes, sometimes they come, sometimes they
but
don't come.
But even if they come, it is Darboe who's got the red carpet and most
well,
exalted.
Of course, Darboe is my party leader. The UDP is the party.
The red carpet should be reserved for people in the state, like
people
in the cabinet.
Red carpets are used for weddings and nyambus.
Okay.
Even your daughter's birthday, you can put red carpet. There's no law you can put in red carpets. But basically, I think in when we govern, we need to understand how we are governing and why it is set up that way, and we need to have a maturity about it. Today, when government has programs, I am not invited. I don't complain.
Like the one happening in Faraba, you've been invited, though.
Which one happening?
The opening of the university. Or you didn't even
I
know
didn't
about
even
it? Okay.
You know, so basically,
Maybe,
and when
maybe the chairman of
maybe the chairman.
West
So,
Coast.
and when they celebrate issues as an NPP achievement, nobody complains. We don't complain. You know, so we fault them that we think they are not doing enough or they're doing things wrongly. But when they brand their achievements that, oh, this is an NPP-led achievement, we don't complain as an opposition party because it's an NPP government.
I see.
We just try to find cracks.
Yes. And
in
say,
their
that,
achievement.
oh, this is a national tax, this is our national money, or this is sponsored by OIC.
Exactly.
So you don't...
If I don't mind if they criticize the council's achievements, but to say that we should not put our party leader in front, I think then that's not a serious
That's
statement.
unfair.
No, that's not a serious statement.
Okay. Now, dipping into the politics now, because, you know, most people said part of the reason you become a lot more contentious, a rival to the NPP is because there are potentials, they said, even in the UDP, that probably you could become presidential candidates. Hence, you are seen to be a lot more of a big fish in the eyes of the National People's Party. And we have gone through this before. I mean, it's been said, and you have been asked several times, are you obviously going to be the presidential candidate for the UDP? Is that the problem where too much focus was on you, especially during the elections, the mayor? I mean, we assume that you become the biggest target for the governing NPP and its allies. Does it have to do with the fact that you are potentially presidential candidate for the UDP?
Well, I think it would be very
Even
hard.
though we know in Brikama also there have been rivalries and antagonism between them and the government, but then yours was particularly very big, and it has a background like this kind of speculations I'm talking about.
So I think our squabbles with government has set a very positive precedence for local governance in this country for a very long time. And I think we did a lot of fighting that today has made it easier even for a BAC like Birkama to be able to also achieve certain things.
Okay.
And I think it is very, very healthy. Because if we never fought, today there would have been interim management committees.
Oh, yes.
Which is an unconstitutional sort of arrangement.
Yeah.
If we never fought, today all mayors and chairmen would be seeking travel clearance to leave. They would be prisoners of the state.
Oh, it used to be the case.
Even if you want to go on your vacation with your family, you need authority.
You fought and won all that.
If we did not fight and have a squabble with government based on law, that these are the rights and powers of the council, and we were shut down. Today, if another council had the same issue, like I just said, BAC, it would also be impossible for them to remove their CEO because then the precedence of failing has already been set. Right. So I think because it was the first time ever, it was the first of its kind, that's why government was fighting us like hell to ensure that this precedence was not set. And I think that was wrong. They should have seen what is legal and what is not legal. And the fight should have been based on legality and not just on raw power of the government. But as far as how they view me and how they view my future or the future of politics in this country, I cannot say. These are things that third parties can analyze. True, I hear these things, I cannot deny it. But I cannot say for sure these were the reasons they were fighting me. We do hear the rumors.
Yeah, but even within your party, the UDP, we had voices. I mean, some voices I can say who are even bitter or let's say not satisfied with any suggestion that they're going to make Talib Bensouda.
Well,
some people said you have already been anointed by Usainu Dabo when a large section of the party didn't want that.
Right.
But then a lot of others said, okay, you are potentially the most, the man with the most potential chances of winning and stuff like that. Does these kind of things go into your head? There was a time they said you might even be thinking of breaking away if you are not made UDP flag bearer.
I think I am suffering from the symptoms of overachieving, maybe. I don't know. I don't think many expected much when I came as mayor of KMC.
Yes.
And I think maybe to many, the pace at which we have been able to move KMC has become scary. So I remember in my early days at council, when we especially brought the Mbalit project, one minister commented that the reason I am doing all this is because I want to be head of state. And I think in Gambian history, many did not see public servants working just because that was their mandate. Many did not see public servants achieving and becoming ambitious for their portfolio just because they want to leave a legacy. Many did not see public servants doing things unless they were paid, or maybe it was selfish. So I think it was a very strange sort of developments that were happening to them. Why? There must be a motive. Why is he working so hard? You know, they could just not believe that maybe it's of a higher purpose. So it has to be something that is directly selfish. So I think that's why many a times they struggle to find out why. Why is Talib working so hard? Why is Talib trying to do all these transformative things? They could not just simply believe that maybe it's because of patriotism. Maybe because I just want to leave a legacy. Maybe it's because I am just ambitious to get things done. So they would narrow it down to, it has to be that I want something. Now, I can never deny that, of course, I want to rise politically.
Yeah,
I can never deny that, of course, what I've been able to achieve as mayor, if I was given a bigger platform, I would of course do more, because I want my country to develop. And everybody would like to leave a legacy. Whether you want to leave a legacy at your business or your household level or your community level, those in government want to leave a legacy. Everybody, no matter how small your portfolio is. Even a cleaner on the street, would you like to be remembered as the person who cleaned that street very well? So definitely that is something that nobody can deny. Everybody wants to move forward. But I am not willing to move forward on compromising my integrity. I would not want to move forward on lies and deceit. It would have to be based on decency and based on trying to bring everybody on board. Now, in terms of what is said in parties, that is normal. Every party has people with varying opinions. Every party has many diverse views. But that also speaks to the collective strength of a party. Nobody expects everybody to rally behind somebody. People expect divergent views. But what is important is, does the party have the democratic structures? Does the party have the good governance to ensure that when decisions are made, they are accepted? I think this is the real test. But what exists in the UDP is quite unique, because I think we are the most democratic party in the Gambia. Today we had a campaign manager that left. In normal circumstances, the party leader would just appoint a replacement. And we see it happening in all parties. But UDP's case is something that goes back to the constitution, and we say, no, this has to go to an election. So that's why it makes our party unusual to other people who feel that maybe UDP is divided. No, it's just we have diverse opinions.
So you don't think that these things are trouble that's brewing and will come to the surface around your possible flag bearership and some other factions of the UDP who might not be that much that much in approval of you becoming the flag?
No, first of all, our flag bearer has not left. That's our party leader. He's never declared in certain terms. There's just speculation. Secondly, if at all it came to that scenario, remember, my journey to becoming mayor was not smooth sailing.
Yes, that's right.
The same things that are being said now are the same things that were being said when I was looking for mayor.
Yeah.
Or he's too young.
Including he has bribed people.
He's bribed people. There were 6 other candidates who also had people behind them and who fought very viciously to ensure that I was never selected as the flag bearer for KM. Right? So these things are natural in politics.
And even
whenever there comes a selection, when you look at the case of Birkama Area Council, there was 12 candidates that came up and wanted to be the flag bearer of Birkama Area Council. So wherever there's a vacancy, of course there's going to be many applicants and their supporters. That is natural. But what is important is the institution's ability to recover and unite from that. And I think UDP has proven over and over again that we have that ability, from the local level to the national level.
There are things that what you have been able to achieve at a personal level in the KM, is what actually make the party, even the party, appealing to the people there. They said you have a different brand of politics. You embraced everybody, people who would normally not have supported UDP. Because of you, they have come. But then this, they said, is building an entitlement around you. And soon you will see yourself too important and too entitled to go ahead, and then that will bring friction.
Well, I think those who say that don't know me. I think those who've known me before I entered politics, to date, for the most part, said I have not changed a bit. Certain aspects of me have changed that come with the position, but my character hasn't changed a bit. I am not somebody who allows positions to get to my head. This is life. And these are just worldly possessions. I believe in a higher purpose, which is, of course, the Almighty. But secondly, I think what we have been able to achieve in a very short while, not just on the development side, but politically, I think is something also that's a learning lesson for all political parties. We have been able to separate our partisan politics from our development and community politics. And I think that is single-handedly, by far, the biggest achievement of KMC, is the ability to keep our party politics from our administration, our ability from keep it from our development, from at the council level to the community level. And I always say, I did not become mayor to lead UDP. I became mayor to lead the people of KM. So if you want to lead UDP, you go to Congress and just remain in a position, a party position. But the day you say, I am looking for a government portfolio, I am going to elections, UDP is promoting you. UDP is the brand. UDP is the vision, is the agenda you have in terms of how you want to develop Gambia. But who are you going to lead? It is Gambians. So therefore your message, therefore your contribution to society, therefore how you exercise your functions should be to the benefit of all Gambians, whether they supported you or not, whether they voted for you or not, whether they're members of your party or not. And I think that is good politics. Because what that ends up happening, it starts paying dividend even for your party. Because people will say, oh, though I am not a fan of UDP, I love how they're doing their politics. Therefore, I am an undecided voter. On this occasion, I will vote for UDP. And some occasions, you may even have other party members. In my case, many NPP. I dare say even thousands of NPP members voted for me in my last election.
Oh, yeah. How do you know that?
I know that.
You know that?
Yes.
That would be very bad news for President Barwan, isn't it?
Well, you have to exercise your politics well. So I approach politics as in a strategic way. I approach it in a way of where I would like to unite people. I will not say how and how we did it or why we did it, but I would say for the most part, the reason most of these people voted for us is because of the way we've been doing our politics. And that is an inclusive approach.
And still on this speculation, you call it speculation, that you might be gunning for flag bearership of the UDP. You were recently in the provinces. Of course, your fans were so excited with the reception, kind of warm reception you got in the provinces. They said, well, here he goes. He's already campaigning. He's going to he's going to the hinterland now. He's been secretly introduced.
Yeah, so
but like beer. How was that tour? How did that tour come about? Because your opponents said, "Well, we know the party leader going on a tour, but how can we get a proper? I don't know, any party official going on a tour?"
So first of all,
was that a secret introduction to the?
Well, no, I am the organizing secretary of the United Democratic Party. Organizing secretary on other parties, they call them the mobilizers. National mobilizers, like in the APRC days. Yeah. In our party, it's called the organizing secretary. You're also the chairperson of the campaign and organizing committee. So you are the highest authority as far as...
Even above the campaign manager?
Above the campaign manager. So the campaign manager,
so
the deputy...
campaign managers, after all, is not the...
No, the campaign manager reports to the organizing secretary.
Okay.
Right. So although it sounds like a more low-key position, it is actually the head of campaign.
Okay.
So all campaign structures countrywide report to the organizing secretary. So the powers or the functions of the organizing secretary, since I got it, I have never really fully utilized. So I used to stay in the background and organize events. So 2021, most of the major rallies and activities was organized from my desk. So I took a more back role. But recently there's been echoes from the party in many quarters, some critics who said, well, the campaign and organizing committee has been dormant, they have not been touring, they have not been going out, mayor has just stuck to KMC, and those echoes got louder and louder. And then at a national executive meeting, the executive body decided that they would come up with an activity plan for 2024, and they asked us to draft it. And in that activity plan, we were asked to create a tour. So there's different tours. There's a tour that is conducted by the National Assembly members. There's a tour conducted by the region. There's a tour conducted by the youth structures. There's a tour conducted by the campaign and organizing committee led by myself. I see. And all these tours have been happening, and many people maybe did not realize. I see. But I guess because of my portfolio and profile, as soon as mine came up, there was a lot of noise from all quarters, mainly from the other camp, which is the NPP side. A lot of the rumors, they feed it to create discord within the UDP. But that tour is well within my mandate, is something that I should do. Is something that I should conduct frequently to help promote the party in areas that we are not very strong. The reception was better than I expected. And unfortunately, I could not be with them for the entire tour because I had to respect that I am elected by KM to work for them. And so during working days, I do not participate. During weekends, I participate because I am not on leave. But the reception has been great, and frankly, I think it's injected maybe some fear into the other side. But this is not of just our doing, but it's also just because of the way the country is going. A lot of the people that received us are not UDP, and a lot of them are worried about the high cost of living. They are worried about bread and butter issues, paying for children's school fees, the prices of basic commodities. They are worried about the insecurity that has seemed to cripple Gambia on a week-to-week basis. The murder rates, the youths are doubtful. Now we see suicides happening. We see a lot of them escaping the country for greener pastures. So Gambia is facing very, very big societal issues, right? That I took out a video on independence to bring government's attention.
How dare you? How dare you come with your own independent speech? That's why I said they accuse you already of running a parallel government.
Well, I have
the president speak and you.
I have an independent speech every.
Your address. That's for KM people.
That's for KM and Gambia. Look, I am a Gambian. So whether I am holding a portfolio,
you where the problem is.
So even whether I'm holding a portfolio or not, I have the right to speak to whoever I want to speak. And especially now that I have a position of responsibility, how can you see your people hurting and not speak about it? And since I spoke about it, what has happened? Different political parties have come out and spoke about the same thing. Since
leaders of political parties.
Exactly.
But not organizing secretary of a political party.
And the mayor, I am the mayor of KM, and I am the leader of
soon you will organize
the biggest municipality.
Soon you will organize your own independent anniversary celebration.
Well, look, let them start fixing the problems because there's more speeches to come. You know, so basically, these are societal ills that need to be tackled. And the biggest affected is my municipality. When you look at drug use and abuse, we just talked about this drug now youths are using. They're nicknaming it Gina Bass.
Oh, God forbid. I hate how I drink that.
So this is a huge problem in KMC. You look at most of these murders that are happening in the KM region. You look at the ills of backway are happening and the high youth unemployment. They're all happening in the KM region. In my speech, I did not blame National People's Party. I did not blame Gambia government. This language I use is I challenge the government to look at these issues. If that was a politically charged statement, I would name the president, I would name the ministers responsible, I would name the party. But I said these are issues happening. We challenge government to try and look into these issues, basically. But I saw that it was a very touchy subject, meaning that I spoke about issues they know is real. Because since I spoke, what is the price of a bag of rice now? It has skyrocketed. Since I spoke, I counted 4 murders. I counted 2 suicides. You understand? So these are issues that are getting worse and worse on a daily basis. And it requires governance. It is not about just building basic infrastructure. It's not just about laying foundation stones. It's about policy formulation, regulation, governance. When we came into office, when the president came into office, one of the things we said as a party in 2021 was there's still no restructuring of government. The reasons that we voted President Barrow into office was reforms. These reforms have been ditched or have been delayed or are simply not being implemented. The TRRC, the CRC, the Jane Commission, you know. So there's security sector reform, civil service
the
reform.
claim to have done very well.
So all of these issues that were not tackled are coming home to roost. So basically, it's a wake-up call that the direction, we don't want to be now one of those small countries in the Caribbean with high murder rates and huge societal ills. Gambia simply does not know these things. So basically, I heard the police talking about the high murder rate. They even went to the extent of blaming foreign nationals.
Well, they said, well, the statistics shows that most of what happened was.
So where's the immigration reform?
But what can they? They can't stop people from coming here.
No, but what I'm saying is, of course, we want Africans especially to come to Gambia freely. And this is what the ECOWAS protocols talk about. But when people come in, they are coming in with IDs, ID cards. Is there any criminal record checked in the home country they came
but
from?
our country is not that sophisticated like Europe and America.
That's why I'm saying, that's why you need the reforms and you need the plan. So if we are saying that, well, I can do nothing about it, then it means you've given up. Then allow other peoples to govern.
Well,
allow the UDP to govern.
The 2026. So if you are the organizing secretary of the party, you must now finally be wary or be a little bit worried that the NPP is continually announcing that they've got people, they call them big fishes, being converted to their party. We had the case of the recent case of the National Assembly member for Combo East. We had, I don't know, somebody who was supposedly an ex-aspirant, a lady. Yes, and every now and then we hear that one or two people have crossed capital. The NPP will call them big fish. So you must be worried now.
Well, if you know politics, you would not be worried. Of course, it would be untrue to say that we don't care about people leaving our party, especially portfolio holders. We care. We care even if a person with no portfolio who's just a simple supporter in some unknown village leaves our party. Of course, nobody wants that. We want people to come to our party, not the other way around. But that is not politics because it does not affect the ground. What it does affect is in terms of, let's say, the National Assembly member, which I think is the biggest defection, the National Assembly member. The reason being, that is one less vote in Parliament.
That's it.
That is going to affect our ability to legislate and our legislative agenda.
Okay.
So that is by far the single biggest defection in UDP this new election cycle.
Okay.
Before we had 6 who left.
Okay.
But take an example just with this individual. Last time we had 6 who left. When it came to re-election,
you claim back.
all of them lost.
Almost all of them.
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
I think only maybe 1
Yeah.
came back. But 5 out of 6 lost.
Yeah.
So what happened? It means they left alone. The base that put you in power, the base is still there, has not moved.
So you mean if there is a by-election now,
UDP will reclaim
the
all
defector
those,
will lose.
They will reclaim that seat. So basically, it is not politics. It is more of saber rattling. It is more of teasing each other, making fun of each other.
I see.
It is more of trying to scare. It's a psychological warfare of politics, but it is not real politics. It doesn't affect the ground. So what I would appeal from all our party members is when people leave, that's their right. It's their constitutional right to leave. Nobody should be upset or condemn them. It's disappointing. It's something that we would not like to see and not like to encourage generally in the country. And I think it is part of some of the failures, or I would say the wrong laws that were brought in by the first parliament. You should not be able to seek the endorsement and support of a party until you win the seat and then leave that party.
Well, that's when you people, on the Jammeh, it wasn't possible.
Exactly.
But
So
when you people came to power, because all of you,
I am not here to defend that law.
You had
I am saying that was something that should not have been changed. It should not have been changed.
Okay.
Now, secondly, when it comes to generally politics, I think what we should be focusing on is the message of the masses. You know, I'm a business person at heart. I always say, if you are selling this bottle of water, the consumers who will drink this bottle of water are standing here in the millions. The sellers who can sell this bottle of water are standing here in the thousands. And you are faced with both of them. Why would you waste your time worrying about the sellers when you can go direct to consumer?
I see.
So in politics, it's the same. Let us sell our product, our vision for this country, our agenda to the voters.
I see.
Forget portfolio holders.
The middlemen.
That's a distraction.
I see.
If you are worried about what middleman will leave you and what middleman will come and make it all your business, and you don't focus on people who actually are the important ones, who can put you in power or remove you from power, that is bad politics.
Good. Talib Ahmed Bensouda is the mayor of Kanifing. Thank you very much for your time. Any parting words?
Thank you, Lamin. You promised no politics. But
no, well,
80% was politics.
Of course, you are a politician.
Well, my parting words are always for the population, Gambia people of KM, and it's always an advice about living in harmony, about exercising our politics in a way that will bring us together and not just divide us, and to look at people with different political parties as people with divergent views, people with different opinions, but not enemies. And I would like to encourage everyone to never invite the prejudices and biases of tribalism, religion, and discrimination on sex basis into politics. So that's my general advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. The brunch will be back next week. Until then, goodbye. Very good.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635-9906.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Brusubi opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Agada.
Mbijan aganyadi.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay.
Korsa.
Nsila ID soto.
Ah, sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya.
Ah,
mbare mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Ah, janno mi yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Ha. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jam.
Ha?
Ha. Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi manin domorol ni fana be teat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Ha e wo moyo diat ha.
Apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, Takaful Fund, management of Zakat, management of Awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.